And you put a text in the Badlands group chat this morning that you ran into a pretty familiar face on your commercial flight out to Indianapolis. So I'll kick it over to you. Why don't you tell the people who you saw?
Yeah, it was weird, man. Like everybody on the plane knew each other, which was funny. Like it was like a reunion was happening at the terminal in Newark. But I sat down. I got there just before we were boarding, and Aaron Glenn was sitting like 2 seats away from me. And I like didn't kind of realize it at first. I just looked up and he was there, and I was like, oh wow. And then we ended up having to change gates, and it was like a half-mile walk. And so I walked kind of closely with him to the next gate, and look, I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna like accost somebody who's just trying to do their job in public, right? So I didn't say anything to him, but I
You
was
didn't
close.
ask him. You didn't ask him to come on the podcast.
I didn't. I did. I couldn't. I couldn't. Again, like if we are able to build a relationship with him the right way, that would be great. But I didn't think that that in the airport, hijacking him like that would be the best plan. But I will say that a lot of other people did do that to him, and he was extremely gracious to every single person that came up. And some were polite, and some weren't. Some were in his face, like, oh, bro, I followed you since I was a kid, blah, blah, blah. And like everybody that talked to him was just like, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Like totally engaged with every other person. And so, like, if we're starting to build kind of a file on Aaron Glenn as the Jets head coach, right? We have the press conference as like kind of item one in that file. And for me, like item two is I was watching him interact with fans, other professionals, different things like that today. And like everything that we've heard is true based upon what I observed in the airport, right? Which was like just like totally gracious, down to earth, traveling on a commercial flight. Had a great seat, but on a commercial flight nonetheless, just like kind of a man of the people. So it was pretty cool, and hopefully I'll see other coaches maybe walking down the street ripping cigs like you did.